First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Quadash, and above ourselves, great millstone, while lunch is truth. And also to those elect that scattered abroad, I like to say, Shalom. And come back here today with another great powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of the lesson is World War III News Update. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by the BBC. And it reads that Russian blames U.S. for Crimea deaths and vows response. Let's get a little bit more. It said Russia has blamed the U.S. and vowed consequences for a Ukrainian missile strike on Sevastopol in occupied Crimea on Sunday, which officials say killed 4 people, including 2 children. So around 150 more were injured in the attack as missile debris fell on a beach nearby. It said Russian defense ministry said the missile used by Ukraine were U.S. supplied ATAMS missiles and claimed they were programmed by the U.S. Specialists. So we already know right now, we seeing that America is constantly poking the bear. We seeing that things is getting ready to escalate. So we already know right here, this is a declaration for war. We already knowing that it's constantly picking up. Tensions is rising. Also, we knowing that the Lord is putting the hooks in Russia's jaw to be a guard to these other nations. And also, we already know about the recent visit of Putin, that he visited North Korea, which in fact is another adversary of America. And also, they have these warships and submarines, nuclear submarines, also in our backyard in Cuba. So we seeing how these things is constantly lining up, and also we seeing that all these nations are constantly dumping the dollar. So right here it said Russian blames the U.S. For Crimea death and vows response. So you know what? So it could be escalation, retaliation behind this. So we already knowing right now that the Lord is constantly putting the pieces together. So World War III has begun. It's getting ready to go full circle. We already knowing that the Lord is gathering the nation. When you go to Ezekiel chapter 38, we seeing right now things are constantly lining up. And also I have another news clip here. Let's go here. It's just news update. We're being a watchman for Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go to this one right here. It's the same. It's by the same news article, the BBC. And it said, we're not going to read the article. We're just going to read the title. And it says, unable to back down, Israel and Hezbollah move closer to all-out war. So we already know Hezbollah goes into these Houthi rebels that is backed by Iran, also Lebanon. So it's already rumors that Iran will attack Israel if this come to some type of escalation. With these Hezbollah rebels, the Houthis rebels that Iran is backing. So we seeing that these things are lining up. It's already Bible prophecy. When you go to secondary chapter 15, they tell you how they are going to come into Israel and destroy it. So we know that Israel will be nuked, but it will be rebuilt. And also we know also about America. America will be totally destroyed. It will be nuked also, but there will be no inhabitant left there. So we seeing these things are lining up. The least of the flock shall draw them out. That is Israel. So anything at any given time, things can pop off. And also the president of Israel is saying that it's rumors that he was saying that America don't want to get involved. Also, America don't want to send them any more military supplies, ammunition and missiles and so forth. But that still has not been confirmed. So we already know that they're going to get involved. The Lord is what's gathering the nation. He get ready to move the northern army far from their borders. We seeing all these things are lining up. So now I have another news article about this extreme heat. Just a news article here. We seeing what's going on. It says here, it says extreme heat could have mortality pandemic and lead to world war, forecasters warn. Let's see. It says here, it said dangerously hot conditions produce triple digit temperatures in the southwest U.S. this week, with forecasters saying temperatures are likely to top 110 degrees. Let's get a little bit more. It says here, it said, as the first heat wave of the season arrived earlier than usual across much of the U.S. and the world, forecasters are looking at the bigger picture of how prolonged extreme heat could affect humans. So we already know, and there's already rumors about them using this heart manipulate machine. Also, it's talking about this. It's another weapon that they'll use too. It's a microwave weapon, but we won't go into that. But we all know it's all by design and engineered by who? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord is visiting the earth that He created. That's why all these things that have strange weather pattern, extreme heat, flooding. You know what I'm saying? Volcanics. Earthquakes in diverse places. Forest fire. The Lord's calling all these things to happen. Also, the Lord is is constantly have His eyes upon the sinful kingdom. So these angels are doing His bidding each and every day, because we're right upon what judgment, also what the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua is fast approach. So now let's get a couple of quick precepts, and after precept we'll start the videos, and I hope that you will get edified. So now let's go here to Revelations. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. It said, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly. So one thing about it, the second woe is talking about what? World War II, and a woe going to destruction. And behold, the third woe come quickly. It's talking about World War III, the last and final war, the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of Armageddon. When you go to Ezekiel chapter 38, Ezekiel chapter 39, the Lord is getting ready to show up. The Lord is getting ready to do a whole lot of killing. We're seeing that it's lining up just like clockwork. So we're seeing that the so-called Middle East is constantly heating up. We're seeing that things are coming into place left and right. We're constantly rejoicing. Let's go here. The Lord is visiting everything He created. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 29, Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. It said, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storms and tempests and the flame of devouring fire. So one thing about we know that the Lord is causing all these things to happen. So the eyes of the Lord is in every place with the angels beholding the good and the evil. So we seeing right now thunder goes into what? Thunderstorm, hailstorm, wind, and so forth, flooding, all sorts of things that happen. Earthquakes in diverse places. Every day when you turn on the news, it just was a earthquake a couple of days ago in Northern California, Wyoming, just everywhere. You can't hardly keep up with all of it. The Lord is making it happen, and that great noise goes into what? World War III. This nuclear holocaust, this nuclear exchange that's getting ready to what? To pretty much, to end the world as we know it. We at the end of an era. We're in a transition of power. So we seeing it taking place right before that great noise is these IBCM missiles is going to be exploding across the world, hitting certain targets across the world. And one thing about it, we already knowing that America will be totally destroyed. Storms, all sorts of wind, rain, hail, tornadoes, tempests, tornadoes, hurricanes, all these things are coming, and the flame of divine fire, goes into these fires all across the world, these forest fires, these fires that they constantly engineered from the right hand side. So the Lord's causing all sorts of calamities and catastrophes all around the world, because we are living in the end time, real time. So the title of the day's lesson, once again, is World War III News Update. So now let's start today's video. And after the video, we will start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
Conservative U.S. members are now coming out and slamming what has unfolded, saying that this has put World War III on overdrive. They are saying the attacks that have taken place in the last 24 hours, that this is going to be causing World War III. As I mentioned, Russia is now coming out and saying that they are summoning the U.S. ambassador to let them know that they will be holding the United States accountable for what is taking place, threatening the United States, saying you will be punished for what has unfolded on the beaches of Crimea in the last 24 hours. Now, also, this comes as we were told that Putin had just threatened U.S. territories. This came out from Russian news. And also, we've also seen that Russia has said that they are requesting a dialogue with the United States to discuss nuclear war and the next steps that could be unfolding here, seeing if there is any way to de-escalate the situation. Russia has also said they're considering changing their nuclear doctrine to change the escalate to de-escalate clause to preemptive attacks if they feel threatened. In addition to that, Putin also says that they will be potentially delivering weapons here to North Korea and the enemies of the United States as a result of what has been unfolding with the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia. And now this coming out today, again, June 24th, 2024, this is breaking news coming out that Russia is now saying the United States will be held accountable. And if you are wondering, we're having U.S. Members of Congress coming out and saying this is an overdrive of World War III. Prepare now, because it appears that World War III is inevitable. There is no way to backpedal out of this conflict. We're moving forward, especially with the attacks that took place, as Russia is saying that the attacks that hit in Sevastopol, that those missiles, they were U.S. missiles, and they are telling the ambassador today that they're going to be holding them directly accountable for what has unfolded. So I'm going to be sharing with you.
What have we done? It has been confirmed that Ukraine has launched multiple missiles at a beach in Crimea. Many people still associate Crimea with Ukraine, but it was conquered by Russia in 2014. Varying numbers of casualties are coming out, but you'll see anywhere from the 3 to 5 range for KIAs. As for injuries, that number is still growing. Putin is putting the bulk of the blame on the United States, for without the United States assistance, they would have never known where to strike. Also, the toys used were American manufactured. The Kremlin also came out and said that this will not go unanswered. And for the people who can't grasp the magnitude of this situation, imagine if Cuba had done a similar attack to a beach in Florida, but it was Russian-made toys used in said hypothetical attack. If that scenario doesn't wake you up to smell the coffee, I'm not even sure what will at this point. And to add on, one of the victims in the attack was the daughter of a respected Russian official. Go ahead and pause and read this so you can get a good understanding of why this is so serious. And while Russia is still sorting out what just took place in Crimea, this is also going on. Do a little bit of digging into this as well, and you'll find out that they are using American-made toys. Putin is a very methodical and skeptical man, so if America wasn't already on the hot seat, we definitely are now. But there's something I need you guys.
The United States and Israel are playing games with the world, really. After the U.S. has announced that they are going to, according to CNN, that they're going to back Israel in a case of all-out war against Lebanon, against Hezbollah in particular, and they have moved the aircraft carriers in both in the Red Sea and in the Mediterranean towards the southern Israeli borders. Now the commander of the U.S. today, the commander of the U.S. Army, General Charles Brown, said that we will not be able to defend Israel in war with Hezbollah. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff warned that the U.S. military would have some difficulty protecting Israel in the event of a large-scale military confrontation with Hezbollah. According to General Brown, Iran is increasingly inclined to enter into a direct war against Israel in the event that Tehran feels that Hezbollah is under a real threat. Hezbollah is Iran's biggest investment in the Middle East. A report, Alfi militia fighters will arrive in Lebanon in the event of an all-out war. General Brown said, which is the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff in the U.S. Army, said that the chances are increasing that Iran will choose to enter into a direct war with Israel in the event of a war between the IDF and Hezbollah. According to him, Iran is more and more inclined to join the war if they fear that Hezbollah is threatened and in real danger. These words add to previous assessments that Iran would be willing to take risks to ensure the survival of Hezbollah, which is considered, as I said, its most important force in the Middle East.
So we seeing that we're very close. To eat the least of the flock shall draw them out. And also we knowing that Russia said they're getting ready. It says will be consequences behind this missile strike that happened in Crimea, saying they're getting ready, getting together for these U.S. targets. So, we're already knowing that war is coming in our own backyard. Already warned us of cyber attacks, terrorist attack, civil unrest, civil war. So these things are constantly lining up just like clockwork. The Lord is constantly moving the chess pieces around. And also with this extreme heat, the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. We're seeing that over there in India. I think the temperature was 126, and also said the roads were melting. Also, people's tires and their sandals was melting because of the extreme heat. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes. A lot of things are constantly happening. That's why we're constantly warning you. Whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. World War III is at the door. It has begun. Things are getting ready to escalate. Things are getting ready to get totally out of control, a time of trouble that we have never seen before. In the mental Lord, we're constantly warning you left and right. A lot of people constantly playing games, but all the games are about to be over. So now we start today's lesson. We start in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 20. It said, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he has taken against Edom, and his purpose that he has proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And out about it, we already knowing that, it's already rumors that Hezbollah, which in fact is the Houthi rebels backed by Iran. So Iran is saying that they're getting involved with Lebanon. They're going to get involved. We already knowing that the least of the flock, which in fact is Israel. So we already knowing what's Israel and Iran get it popping. We know that America will join forces with them. And also we know that Russia and China in collaboration with these other nations are going to burn the whore. So right here it said, here's verse again, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So that's what's getting ready to happen. Israel will be nuked, but it will be rebuilt back up. But America will be totally destroyed in its last and final war, which in fact is World War III, the wars that will end all wars. The Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work, and we're constantly warning you left and right. So now let's go here to Ezekiel. The Lord is putting the hooks in what? In Russia's jaw. We're seeing that right now, what's happening. We're seeing the visit to North Korea. The Lord's constantly, Russia is constantly making allies with all our adversaries, all our enemies. Ezekiel chapter 38. So we're seeing that how these things are lining up. Man, the Lord is making it happen, man. We'll rejoice. We're living in the end time. The prophecies right now are speaking loud and clear, man. We seeing, and one thing about it, we knowing that the famine of the world as fast as approach. You got to get it while it's hot. So now let's read this here. It says Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 4. It said, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, and bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. So all of them get ready to come with their military might, all of them coming together. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we seeing these things are lining up. The Middle East is heating up, man. We seeing what's going on with Israel and Hezbollah and Iran. We see what's going on with Ukraine, NATO and the U.S. So one thing about things are getting ready to kick off, man. Verse 5, it said, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shields and helmet. And out about we already knowing that the modern day Persia is Iran. So we see how this lining up. Ethiopia and Libya is these African nations that will be joined with them, allies with them. So we seeing how this is lining up. It says here, verse 6 said, Gomer and all his bands and the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all of his bands and many peoples are with thee. So right there, it's talking about Turkey. So Turkey will be joined to them. So we knowing that it was rumors that Turkey have left NATO. So we already know that a lot of these NATO countries is going to what? They're going to turn against Babylon or Great. So we already know things are constantly lining up, man. We are rejoicing. We almost at the end of this thing. Verse 7, it said, but thou are prepared and and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a God unto them. That's talking about Russia, so the Lord is constantly, putting the spirit upon Putin. Putin is making all these different alliance across the world with North Korea, China, Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Cuba, Mexico, a lot of these different places. They're constantly making allies. Also it was rumored that there was going to give them military weapons, so these things are coming full circle. So we see it right now, man. America is getting ready to get what they're looking for, but they constantly poking the bear. So let's go here. So let's go out of here. Let's go here to second Ezra chapter 15, because we seeing that this war is lining up between Hezbollah, which in fact is going to be Israel and Iran. We're seeing that it's lining up. So let's go here. Second Ezra chapter 15. We'll start up at verse 28. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 28. Bible prophecies are speaking. It said, behold, and harbor vision and the appearance thereof from the east. And that's talking about what the Middle East, coming out of the Middle East. We're seeing that things are constantly heating up left and right. The Lord is gathering the nation. Verse 29 said, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitudes of them shall be carried as a wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So it's gonna be excite, and all about it. These dragon of Arabia is going into these Arab nations, going into these Arab Saudi Arabia and their allies. So we seeing it lining up left and right, seeing how this war is getting ready to go full blown. It's getting ready to be a world scale war that you've never seen before. So we seeing that this war is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We seeing it lining up just like clockwork. It says here, at verse 30, it says, also the Carmanians, which in fact is Iran, or the Iranians, also the Carmanians, Iran, raging with wrath, should go forth as wild boars of the woods, and a great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All modern day America. You know what I'm saying? So we see it right here. This is lining up just like clockwork. We seeing that they're getting ready to join together. The Lord is gathering the nation, these Arab nations, with the dragons of Arabia, the Carmanians, Iran, all their allies, also who will be a god to them. Russia. We see how these things are constantly lining up. And it says here, verse 31, second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 31 said, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So one thing about it is talking about they're gonna remember their nature. This is talking about when the angel told Hagar that Ishmael will be a wild man. So he's gonna turn to that wild nature. So Ishmael goes into these Arab nations, the dragon of Arabia, their allies, also joined together with Iran. It's going to be Turkey, these African nations. So man, and many others going to be joined to them. See, you see how big this war is going to get. The Lord is gathering them for the controversy of Zion. Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 3, man, these things are lining up like clockwork. Verse 32 said, then these shall be trouble bled, and keep silent through their power, and shall flee. Verse 33 said, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dreads and stripes among their kings. So one thing about it, the Lord is calling this dreads and strives among their kings. So Lord is constantly releasing these what you call these death angels. When you go to, I think it's Revelation chapter 9, we get it in a minute. So we seeing right now the Lord is getting ready to release these death angels. The Lord is getting ready to bring forth this destruction, man. We seeing it, man. It's happening right before our eyes. Let's get a little bit more. We'll go to what's called to Revelation. Get a little quick precept to second Ezra chapter 15, 33. We get that in a minute. Let's finish reading. It said, You know what? We'll go there now. So right now the Lord is putting the spirit on these nations, to strive among these kings. They're getting together. They're constantly coming into alliance against Israel and America. And also, let's see what else. Israel and America. So make sure I got it right. Let's go here. Let's get this quick precept. We'll come back there. Salakia. I'm moving kind of fast, just in the spirit. Revelation chapter 9. Let's go here. Revelation chapter 9 and verse 12, and we'll go back. And it reads, said one woe is past, talking about World War I, and said, and behold, there come two woes more there hereafter. It's talking about what World War II, it already has passed, and the third woe is what World War III. So we at the last and final war, right before what? The great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So the times of the Gentiles are almost fulfilled. So we seeing that Israel is trodden down by the Gentile, but the times of the Gentiles is almost fulfilled. The Lord is getting ready to set that righteous order. And one thing about it, we knowing that the Lord is doing a mighty work. We seeing that he's constantly accelerating time. The Lord said, for the elect's sake, those days shall be short. Verse 13, it said, and the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before the Almighty. Verse 4 says, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. So remember that Euphrates, is constantly drying up to make a way from the kings of the east. Man, we seeing how this lining up, and those four angels is gonna help bring forth this destruction. When also it's lined up, I think with Revelation, I'm not mistaken, Revelation chapter 7. The Lord's holding back that destroyed wind to the sealing of the elect, and all hell is going to break loose. It says here, let's highlight this. It says here in verse 15, Revelation chapter 9 and verse 15, it says, and the fourth angel were loose, and which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. That's talking about the Edomite, the so-called white man, the modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So we're seeing how this is lining up. The Lord is getting ready to bring forth that judgment. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes. So now let's go back to 2 Ezra, chapter 15. We'll get one more. Let's go back. Just want to bring that out with a little more edification there. We need to know these things, called, man, we right here. Let's go back to 33. And it says here, 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 33, it says, and from the land of the Assyrian shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. In their host shall be fear and dreads and strives among their kings. So the Lord is calling that to happen. He's getting ready to release these four angels to bring forth this destruction, this strife and envy against these nations. That's why the Lord calls these nations to rising against nations. He's getting ready to set Egyptian against Egyptian. It's going to be all out war everywhere where you look. And one thing about it, if the Lord is not on your side, you will be totally destroyed. Verse 34 says, behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. Man, we're getting very close. It's going to be a mighty army. The Lord is gathering the nation. Joel chapter 2, Joel chapter 3. It says here, it says, they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own stars, and the blood shall be from the sword unto their belly. Let's talk about, they're going to be fighting one another. A lot of military equipment going to be destroyed. A lot of bodies going to be laid out everywhere. And it says here, verse 36, and the dung of men unto the camel's hoof. So that's telling you right there, it's going to be massive death. Millions of people are getting ready to die in the valley of Jehoshaphat over there in that Saudi Arabia desert. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go to Joel chapter 2, give you a little bit more edification. So we seeing that, these things are right on, spot on. The Bible's a true book. Let's go to Joel chapter 2. Let's get here. Just hitting a few of these points. Don't pass it up, Salakia. Oh, man, where we at here? Hold on. There we go. Joel chapter 2 and verse 21. Let's get this one right quick, because we seeing these things are lining up. Joel chapter 2 and verse, hold on. I think it's 20, verse 20. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. And it reads, it said, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, which in fact is America, their armed forces. It said, and I will drive him into a land buried and desolate, talking about Saudi Arabia, that Saudi Arabia desert over there. You know what I'm saying? That desolate wasteland. It said with his face towards the east sea, the Persian Gulf, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, which in fact is the Red Sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great things against the Lord. So one thing about it is it's going to be a whole lot of killing, just like when you go back to 2nd chapter 15, I think around verse 34 or 35, where it said that it's going to be a lot of killing up to the camel's hoof. So that means that the blood is going to be run like a river. So we see it right here over there in the Persian Gulf. We seeing that they have their warships over there in the Persian Gulf, over there and that the Straits of Hormuz. That's a important chokehold. That a lot of oil, a lot of different resources go through that area. A lot of grain, the world grain, go through the area. So that we have the major player there. We have Iran warship there, American warship there, Great Britain, Saudi Arabia. Russia, China. So you seeing how all these things are light up. And also in the Red Sea, the same thing. Warships of all these different nations. Already the Lord is lining it up. And he says, he shall move the northern army far from their borders. American army is already over there. More to come. They already started this automatic. They said that once you turn 18, they looking for 18 to 26. They're automatically going to be enrolled into this draft when need to be called upon. So we already know right now they're preparing for war. All these nations are preparing for war. And a lot of our people still are playing in, talking about the 4th of July, talking about their birthday, talking about anniversary, still talking about working, trying to accomplish this, trying to get married, all these different things. Hey, man, this place is finished. We're constantly warning you left and right, man. These things, man, all hell is getting ready to break loose. We seeing that we're here. It is at the door. We're constantly warning you left and right. So let's go here to Zephaniah. Let's go here, Salakia. Let's go here to Zephaniah. So we seeing that, hey, man, the war drums are constantly beating. You know what I'm saying? America is getting ready to be invaded with these Russia and China troops in collaboration with with NATO and all these other allies is getting ready to be joined to them. They shall burn the whore. Let's go here to Luke chapter 21. That's something I want to get out of Luke. Luke chapter 21. Know exactly what I think it's around 25. Luke chapter 21. And let's get this one right here. It says Luke chapter 21 and verse 25. It said, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moons and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nation with perplexity, and the sea and the waves are roaring. So that's what we're seeing right now. All sorts of signs and great wonders is happening. You're seeing distress of nation, perplexity, the seas and the waves are roaring. You know what I'm saying? All sorts of things are constantly happening. All sorts of calamities, events are taking place because the Lord is moving the chess piece around. The Lord is gathering the nation. Verse 26 said, men's hearts are failing them for the fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. World War III is fast approaching. So let's go here. Let's go here to Zephaniah. Get ready to close out. Zephaniah chapter 1. Let's go here. Let's start at verse Zephaniah. Let's see, it's Zephaniah. See where we want to go. Salakia. This is Zephaniah. One moment. Let's see where I'm at. One moment. Zephaniah chapter 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Zephaniah chapter 2. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1 said, gather yourself together, gather together, O nation, not desire. Verse 2 said, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord anger come upon you. So one thing about it, that fierce anger of the Lord is fast approach. For the Lord bring forth the decree. The Lord's getting ready to execute judgment. The Lord's getting ready to bring it to a close. The Lord is getting ready to say, look for the brightness of my coming. You know what I'm saying? Out of the east. The Lord is going to return out of the east. He's going to black out the sky with that fathership. You know what I'm saying? And everything that's going to be in that valley. You know what I'm saying? That Saudi Arabia, that desert over there will be totally destroyed. Verse 3 it says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, said, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. So one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to execute judgment. The Lord is gathering the nation. We're seeing that these things are happening left and right, rumors of war. We're seeing all these different weather patterns all across the world, extreme heat or raining, flooding. You know what I'm saying? The love of many is waxing cold. A lot of people coming unalive. And also we know that the MOTB is fast to approach. This digital society, a lot of things are coming upon us. So let's go here, Zephaniah chapter 3. We'll close out here. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 9. Verse 8, Salat. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8. And it reads that, therefore wait ye upon me, says the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nation, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So that's what the Lord's getting ready to come back to do. The Lord is getting ready to end this eon. You know, the Lord is getting ready to usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we already knowing that through much tribulation, we shall enter the kingdom of heaven. So we already knowing that the body count is getting ready to be great. The Lord is getting ready to come like a whirlwind with his chariot, with fire, to render what? Judgment. You know, it's upon this earth like we have never seen before. Seek the Lord, pray. You know what I'm saying? Pray without cease. Ask the Lord to have mercy upon you, and hoping that you'll be a part of the what? The hopeful elect. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is World War III News Update. So I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rikah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.